May I come in, sir?
जी आइए.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Please take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
You're Mr. Abhishek Kumar Jha.
Yes, sir.
Abhishek, English is going to be your preferred medium.
Yes, sir.
Abhishek, I want you to introduce yourself to board.
Sir, my name is Abhishek Jha. I belong to Darbhanga, Bihar, from the Mithila region. I have done my schooling there. After that, I went to IIT Roorkee to do my BTech in Production and Industrial Engineering. After that, I worked at Bajaj Auto as a GT for 6 months, and since then, I have been preparing for this exam.
You did your production engineering, and you were in a production line when it comes to Bajaj thing, right? Then if it was your core area, why you left it? Bajaj is a good employer.
Yes, sir, it is a good employer. But sir, I had my eyes on CSE since the last year of my campus because I wanted to come into government service. I tried to balance my preparation along with my job, and since it was not possible, that's why I left the job.
Okay. And you have taken anthropology as your option.
Yes, sir.
When we talk about languages,
yes, sir.
What is the anthropology of language? Is language natural to human race, human species, or natural language is kind of an invention of human species?
So language has both components, and they are cyclical in nature, so to say. Certain areas of the brain, like Broca's and Wernicke's area, developed to allow us to express our thoughts in a better manner as compared to primates. However, culture also influenced language use, and it in turn affected the development of our brain. So it can be said to be a balance of both.
When you were introducing yourself, you mentioned yourself from a Mithila region.
Yes, sir.
You have also mentioned that you like Dinkar's poetry. So
yes,
you understand Hindi also.
Yes, sir.
I mean, Hindi is something you're passionate about.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, what is the relationship between Hindi and Maithili? Is Maithili independent language, or as Hindi people claim, Maithili is a dialect of Hindi?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware about the linguistics of Maithili. So I will not be able to comment on it authoritatively, but if you allow, then I can maybe take it.
Speak from your heart. You're a Mithila person.
Sir, recently I was reading a book on Maithili grammar. So there were some arguments there which presented that Maithili is a different language given the structure of its sentences and how it differs from Hindi. The words are also different. So maybe it is a separate language, and that is why it has been accorded a separate language status in the 8th schedule as well.
That's what I wanted to talk about. When we talk about the 8th schedule of the Constitution,
yes, sir.
Do you believe it's more of a political schedule rather than having anything to do with linguistics? Because after the independence, we have included at least 9 languages from North India, not even a single language from South India in the 8th schedule. It appears that it's all politics. Just think of it. There were 4 languages in the beginning of the Constitution from South India. There are still 4 languages from South India. We started with maybe some 9 languages from North India. Now we have around 18 languages from North India, almost double. It appears that it's more of politics rather than linguistics when we talk about 8th schedule.
Sir, we are in a democracy, and people's will matters in that context.
Which means numbers and population.
Sir, relating to that, there is also the issue of recognition of languages, since
so much so that we have included Nepali in the 8th schedule. And not even a single Dravidian language apart from 4 in the 8th schedule.
Yes, sir, because the southern languages, they had already been added, so there was no scope to further add South Indian languages.
There are no other southern languages?
Yes, sir, there is Tulu, from what I know, but other than that, in North India, there were multitude of languages, and since there were demands, so since people expressed a demand to have their culture sort of identified in terms of a language, that had to be fulfilled. I do think that there must have been some objective criteria which was decided by the government to include it in the 8th schedule. I'm not aware of it exactly, but it cannot wholly be attributed to politics, sir. That is
okay. And you mentioned Dinkar.
Yes, sir.
There are people who believe that Dinkar was more of a war hawk. I mean, very hawkish when it comes to, obviously there are social cultural reasons why he was so. But do you subscribe to, I mean, when we compare, for example, Dinkar in his time to Tagore in his time, despite the World War and everything, he was talking peace, he was talking internationalism, he was talking critique of nationalism, but Dinkar we know was talking all nationalism and very hawkish idea of that. If you compare Tagore with Dinkar, will you still say I like Dinkar?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware about Rabindranath Tagore. But in terms of Dinkar being a hawkish personality and poet, so to speak, so he has been said to be a Kavi of Veer Ras, and Veer Ras in itself is a little bit charged and fiery, and his pen name Dinkar also signifies sun. So that is there. However, I think that his passion is more of passion of the heart and not physical passion and physical war mongering or things like that, so to speak. So that is my point on that.
The last one from me in this session, you mentioned about Veer Ras.
Yes.
What is the Sthai Bhav of Veer Ras?
Sir, I'm not aware of this. I studied this in grammar in 10th standard, so I just remember that Ras name, and I do not know about the
Thank you,
Bhav itself.
ma'am.
This is your first interview?
Yes, ma'am.
First try also?
Yes, ma'am.
First attempt, first interview?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are 24?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very nice. And anyway, I was just seeing that how many times have you been there? You haven't, just a very first attempt. Very good. And I just want to ask you, in today's geopolitical situation that we are living in, how do you define or how do you describe India's relations with the big three?
The US, the Russia, and China.
So how do you describe them very briefly, one line each, one sentence each, and which is more important for us, you think?
Ma'am, as for US, I would describe it as a partnership for the 21st century. With Russia, a time-tested partner from history and major defense partnership. With China, I would term it more of a geopolitical rivalry along with coexistence in a managed setup, so to speak. As for importance, ma'am, there are different domains in which the import of these three relations come in. Russia is important for us in terms of defense and right now in terms of energy security. US is important in terms of technology and the social media and trade that has been right now Trump has done some things, President Trump, but that is one thing. Along with China, we have to see it more as a management of spheres of influence, so to speak, as China tries to surround us, and we have to counter it. So these are the ways I would define.
Which is most important?
Ma'am, I would say that Russia and US both are important, as China is important, ma'am, but since it is seen more as a rival, so we have to.
We can't wish away our neighbor.
Yes, ma'am, we can't. That is why we have to focus on managing our neighbor. And as for importance, we go with strategic autonomy. So we have to take our interests in mind before. Thank you.
Can you discuss about some of the special things which were recovered from the Sarai Nahar Rai or Rakhi Ghadi or Burj Home?
Sir, from Burza Home, it was a Neolithic site. So there was pit burial which was discovered. There was also a mark of a surgery in the molar, which is significant because it is sort of a primitive surgery that was done. Also, the burial was along with a dog, so it shows that dog had been domesticated and it was living closely with man. So, sir, these are the three things that I remember right now.
Is there any difference between Homo sapiens and Homo sapiens sapiens?
Sir, I'm not exactly aware of the difference between those two. However, as far as my information goes, there was attempt to further subcategorize Homo sapiens, but it is not accepted academically right now. That is my awareness.
There are some famous books written by Harari.
Yes, sir, Harari.
Have you studied any of the Homo Deus or?
No, sir, I have not got a chance to read those books. No,
okay. Can you explain about the annealing and tempering process in industrial engineering?
No, sir.
Annealing and tampering.
I'm right now not fully aware of those, sir. I cannot fully recall. Yes.
And tell me something about the various minerals which are available in plenty in India. The areas where the minerals,
Okay.
where you can extract the metals. Like which one is the more prevalent, like bauxite or your copper? So what are the mineral ores available in India?
Sir, from what I remember, the Karnataka region, Bellary belt, there is iron there. So that is one. There is also bauxite deposits near Odisha. So that is another. And sir, in Chota Nagpur region, there is copper as well. So these are the three regions.
Ajay, what is the name of the minerals which are from which these are extracted? Like iron. Iron is extracted. What is the ore? Name of the ore?
Sir, magnetite ore and hematite ore are for iron. In India, I think we have less magnetite and more hematite ores. Aluminium is extracted from bauxite, sir. And copper, I am not sure.
Okay. What is the like export or import? Are we exporting or importing these minerals?
Sir, I'm not aware of the figures, exact figures as to which minerals, how much we are importing or exporting. But if given a chance, sir, I would like to say that since we are a developing country and we have huge demand, so we must be importing minerals.
In industrial engineering, what was your project?
Sir, the BTech project.
Yes, BTech.
Sir, it was an analysis of Bhuvan facilities. So we had several hostels in our campus, and several online facilities were provided. As for a mess and other hostel charges, no dues certificate, etc. So we had to analyze and find out the time which was taken and how to optimize that process.
Okay. Suppose you are working on some project.
Yes, sir.
So you must have used PERT or CPM.
Yes, sir.
What is the difference between these two techniques?
Sir, I'm not able to recall it currently, sir. Yeah, I will have to read up on it, sir.
Okay, Abhishek, your optional is anthropology.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard the term broad spectrum collection?
No, sir, I have not.
Okay. What exactly was the culture in the transitional phase from Paleolithic to Neolithic?
Sir, from Paleolithic to Neolithic, the phase is called Mesolithic, and its culture is defined by the Mousterian tool tradition, sir. Sir, it was a flake tool technology, and there was use of fire and hunting, etc. So this is what I remember about that.
And what was the culture of Middle Paleolithic?
Sir, I think I have mixed those two. I'm sorry.
And what is Mesolithic then?
Sir, I'm not able to recall right now.
You might have studied tribal anthropology.
Yes, sir.
Can we consider tribal cultures as backward? Because mostly the government is trying to bring about development in the tribal areas. So is there a preconceived notion in the minds of the administrator or the administration that the tribal cultures are backward? Do you agree with that kind of mindset?
Sir, firstly, I do not think I would agree that tribal cultures are backward. As far as the government's steps go, sir, I think the government is approaching it more with a assimilative sense. That is making the tribals participate in the political process, and through their opinions and voices, steps are being taken. There have been issues which have been raised, but within the framework of the law, those are being looked at, and we have many empowering laws as such, sir, like PESA and FRA. So this issue cannot be said to be preconceived. It is working within the framework.
What are the three approaches to tribal administration that are generally discussed in anthropology?
Sir, first is isolationism, second is assimilation, and third is integration, sir.
Which one is the best out of the three, and which one has India adopted?
Sir, I would say that assimilation is the best, sir, because isolation leaves the societies apart. Assimilation, sir, completely absorbs them in the mainstream society, neglecting their cultural identity. Integration allows for a healthy exchange of culture and views.
So is India pursuing assimilation?
No, sir. India is pursuing integration, sir. In the last response, I mistakenly said that.
So assimilation is more of about you making the tribals leave their culture, adopting the mainstream culture.
Yes, sir.
What are the two very important provisions in the Indian Constitution related to tribal administration?
Sir, first would be Article 15. That is no discrimination on the basis
Two
of.
standout principles.
Sir, one would be reservation for scheduled tribes in the political legislatures, and sir, second would be I'm unable to recall right now, sir.
Do you remember 5th schedule and 6th schedule?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. Yes.
Do you think the Tribal Advisory Council that is created out of the 5th schedule,
Yes, sir.
is it any relevant today?
Sir, Tribal Advisory Council under 5th schedule was provided so as to let the tribals voice their opinion regarding the developmental activities in their areas.
Okay.
And sir, I think I'm not exactly privy to the functioning as currently as to how they are functioning, but there have been issues that they are politically hijacked to wade through projects, etc. So this needs to be looked at, sir.
Your mains examination center was Lucknow, I guess. Yes. Who is the very famous anthropologist from Lucknow?
Sir, I think it is Professor D.N. Majumdar.
Okay. Who else? Who is presently, you might have studied some of the books.
Sir, I'm not able to.
Nadeem Hasnain, sir.
Okay.
So Abhishek, you were discussing about 5th and 6th schedule.
Yes, sir.
There was this demand from Ladakh.
Yes, sir.
And we end up jailing the people who are demanding 6th schedule for it. What is your take? Should 6th schedule be granted to Ladakh?
Sir, 6th schedule is a very important provision in our constitution, safeguarding the rights of communities who want their preservation of their unique culture, etc. Sir, as for the Ladakh jailing of people, it was followed the violence, and violence can never be condoned, sir. So that is one point. Secondly, sir, the MHA is holding discussions with the Ladakh council and representatives. So I think based on objective parameters, it can be provided.
What is your opinion? Do you believe that Ladakh is a good candidate for 6th schedule?
Sir,
You're evading responsibility of taking opinions.
Sir, if sir, actually, I'm not aware of the factors that are required to provide 6th schedule protection to area. So that is why I was saying this.
Ladakh was part of a state.
Yes, sir.
Now it is a union territory.
Yes, sir.
They actually demanded union territory
Yes, sir.
at that time. Now they're demanding a state status.
Yes, sir.
You know about the facts. You cannot say, I don't know the facts now.
Yes, sir.
Should Ladakh be a state?
Popular democratic will should prevail in any region, any part of the country. If the national security issue can be taken care of while providing the state status, then I would stand for it, sir. Because Sikkim with similar population, in my understanding, has been provided. So I do not see any reason why it can't be provided.
Good. Nice talking to you. Your interview is over, Abhishek.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, Abhishek, it is your first attempt,
Yes,
right? Sir. And obviously the first interview. You are happy with your performance today, or there are areas you would like to improve? You still have some time, right?
Yes, sir, I do.
So, what are the areas you need to improve?
Sir, first is optional. And sir, second is expressing myself more concisely. And these are the two things that I'm able to think of right now.
See, Abhishek, in general, our understanding about your candidature is that you're a young, good candidate, right? First attempt here is a nice achievement, and also personality wise, you carry a very pleasant personality. Your walk-in is good, your sitting posture is good, your voice level is good. You carry a wonderful smile, and that is going in your favor. It's not hostile kind of a smile, it's not a smirk, it is actually a pleasant smile. So even when you are saying sorry, I don't know, multiple times, it happened many times, but still you're able to steer through with this because of this smile. So I'll advise you to keep it this way. In general, your voice level is good, both in terms of speed as well as in volume. There isn't much hand movement, which is also a nice thing. Eye contact is also good. Flow is also good. So on the communication front, you're doing most things right? There are a few areas where you can, since you have this interesting optional, right? So, and there are many faces of this optional, right? It's not just the core anthropology teacher which can ask question, but even general board members can ask questions on that. So be ready for that. That way. When it comes to your hobbies and other things, I believe a little bit more reading should help. If you have some time, please brush it up, right? You yourself mentioned Veer.
Yes, sir.
When you utter a word, then it means you're inviting people to talk about it, right? You could have very well skipped it, right? But you mentioned Veeras, then you should be knowing about Veeras, right? That's the general principle about interviews. So we generally give leading answers, hoping that people will ask about it.
Yes.
You gave a leading answer on the area which you are not aware of, so not a good idea. So you can work on. See, also since your interview had a lot of components which had to do with the sensitivity. You're talking about tribals. You're talking about certain areas. There, one, the language is gonna matter, right? And second, your sensitivity will also be being judged at the same time. So make sure that your sensitivity aligns with the marginalized wherever possible, right? You're talking about tribals, then it should appear that you're talking in an empathetic tone about tribals. You're talking about belongingness with the tribal, not like somebody other else, right? So these are few things you can take care. Otherwise, communication and knowledge part is okay. There are few places where you need to brush up that you already know, but there's no point listing these things, because if I list 5 things, there can be 7 more things about it. So just use whatever time you have to brush up your knowledge. But communication wise, the only thing you need to worry about is that you're not peaking too early. You're performing well, but I have seen this tendency in the candidates who peak early. So they are not at their peak when they are appearing in the D-Day, right? So if you believe that this is your peak, then you should start working on sustaining it for a long period of time. Or otherwise, you will face this, that when it matters the most, you will not be at your peak, right? Generally, interview preparation sees it a lot. So be careful about that, right?
One suggestion would be, let's say sir asked you the question on making a decision about according the 5th schedule status to Ladakh. So there can be clearly one-sided opinions in them. You can choose, sir, it should be given, it should not be given. If it should be given, why it should be given, you should be already prepared with that. Why it should not be given, then you should have clear. You cannot just avoid the responsibility like sir said. So that thing actually, if you see the interview syllabus or what they have mentioned about it in the note,
Yes, sir.
they tell you to take a view on conflicting.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So that is what is very important. For example, if I ask you the question, should we remove AFSPA? So there has to be a guarded, calculated thing that why is AFSPA required in the first place? So you need to think in that direction. Okay. For anthropology,
this is not always a good strategy, especially if the board member is saying, I am looking at you, whether you can own responsibility of taking a decision. I mean, you don't stand a chance by evading answer now. Giving a wrong answer will be admitted. कोई बात नहीं, आपने उसको substantiate कर दिया, it works, right? हाँ, right? All the best.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.